All right, Beth, Amy's here. Hey.
Hi, Chris. Remember Jeff?
Good job.
Hi, Chris. How are
All right.
you? You have a kitty. You got a new table?
Yeah.
Oh, where'd you get that from?
Had that for a while.
Oh. Was it a donation or did you buy it?
Bought it.
Oh, nice.
All right. Should one more chair. I'll just use this one here. Cat's shedding right now.
You can't shut it?
Yes.
I know, I can smell
Oh,
it. I get
okay.
like allergic. Yeah, I'm gonna see your things are in here.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Perfect attendance for school. For junior high. Wow. And then high school, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Did you graduate from Paris for high school?
Yep.
Did you?
No, it's Penna.
What's your last name?
S-A-N-N-E-R.
You worked with Tom most of the time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I couldn't put it together. Sometimes Tom would kind of,
Oh.
Where's Penna anyways?
a couple months after everything at Rum started winding down, he was rear-ended and hurt his back, so he can't work anymore.
Oh.
Good man too, he's a real nice guy. But you remember Bob Beener?
No.
Right.
Doesn't ring a bell. No.
Yeah, but Bob was out there now. Bob and Tom started Charlie's Dodge together. Bob went on to own Walgreens, so.
Okay.
So Chris and my other guy who we were with earlier today have been, I think, dying for this job to become available again.
Which other guy?
Robert.
Oh, I can't stand him.
Oh, well, he's gonna be your coworker. Huh?
That big or something.
I'm sure you guys will get along well enough to be coworkers.
That's
so.
right, you don't have to be in love with one another, you just have to work together. I told him this morning, because there was someone that he had a problem with, that I have people I work with every day that I don't particularly care for, but because I get paid,
Mm-hmm.
I go to work.
Who's the new provider?
Friendship New Vision.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it's all the people that were working with Tom for the last 10 years.
Oh, all right.
So it's just, we've actually started our own company.
Okay, so the supports, I'm just gonna do the same as we did earlier today,
Yeah.
so, they're closed the first week of July. So, what we did for the other person was just have them starting that following week, which is July 9th. Does that work for you, Chris?
Yeah. Definitely.
So then you'll have to give notice to overcomers.
Yeah.
Did you tell them today?
They already know, yeah, let them all know.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So you should probably put something in writing for them.
No, as long as they know, it's all right.
Well, a lot of times they would like to have it in writing. Let's see, your span is, oh, your span just started.
How do I write it? It's like,
Just on a piece of paper saying I'm giving you my notice, my last day will be this day.
okay.
So your last day will probably be then July 6th, I think is the date. Are they open that week of July?
I don't know. Holiday. Do they, now, does this place, how often do this place, how often do the guys get paid?
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks? What days, oh, never mind. So.
We pay on
whatever
Friday,
it is.
we get paid tomorrow.
Okay.
So, I don't know what that would be. The 6th would be a pay period, so you'd start on a normal pay period, so we should get paid on the 20th.
Okay.
Let me check that with payroll, but that's, counting the weeks, that's the way it works out.
Because the last, Rim of Ohio, they only paid twice a month.
I know,
That's what I was-
and that was not something that was very easy for everybody to deal with,
Right.
and they didn't care.
You might wanna explain to Chris how the time study and pay and all that works.
Okay, what we do when we start off, and you probably did it with Tom when you first went out there, you're gonna start off at a lower wage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's $3.90 as opposed to the $2 an hour Rem did. After 30 days, we'll do your time study, you probably won't have any problem, then we'll pay you your back pay. So like, if you work 4 weeks, which is what a month is, and you work 45 hours every 2 weeks, you'll get back pay for 90 hours times the difference. So if you go from 380 to 760, you'll get 380 times the number of hours you work, so you get it all back. We don't try to hold it from anybody, we just don't want anyone to, well, I would never take money from anybody anyway, but it's just a good way, it's a way for us to start off, and that way we have a real measure of how much you've improved in your job. We'll continue doing time studies every 6 months, and we'll pay you accordingly.
Okay.
Okay?
Now,
You drive?
Yes, I do.
You drive?
I have my license, and I hope to get, I'll have SR22 insurance on hopefully in the next few weeks.
Okay. Well, depending on what we want to do, the key to the whole thing with Charlie's Dodge is once you're off the clock, they want us off the property because they're worried about liability issues. So if you drive yourself, you need to make sure as soon as your shift's over.
I don't own a car.
Yeah, he won't be driving there.
Okay.
But no, actually, I wanted to ask you as far as backing cars into the bay, being I will be insured soon.
That's up to Charlie's. I don't have any control over that, and right now, as far as I know, no one on our staff will be able to do it. It could be, but as for right now, they've got to get comfortable with this again, Chris. I mean, they know Rich and I, because they've been working with us for the last 8-9 years.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to get to know you, and I'm sure once they see you, they'll know who you are, and they'll go from there, but, I don't, as far as right now, the only person on our insurance that can move a car would be Bob.
What about Rich? Is he still gonna be there?
No, Rich is still with Rob.
Okay.
Yeah? Wasn't he out there today?
Oh, there's Rich Arnold,
Oh,
there's Rich,
Hammer.
Hammer, there's Rich Arnold, there's Richard Brown,
Oh.
there's Rick Powers, yeah, you got a lot of R's over there.
Oh.
So-
The bald guy.
Yeah,
The
that
guy's in the Navy.
right, he's still out at, he's still out at Walgreens. So. But other than that, I mean, you know, it's kind of unusual, you already know the job, you've done it before. We just have to go through the formalities of getting all the paperwork done. What I would ask is the first day you come to work that you bring a copy of your driver's license or your state ID and your social security card so we can make copies of all your paperwork and get that all done. And that was something I should have asked, Robert for this morning too. And I don't know if something shiny went through the room or what, but my attention span's about that long. Is that right?
Yeah.
So-
I can email his provider and ask them if they can help.
Yeah.
Is there paperwork that needs to be filled, or you
Well,
guys will fill it out when you get there?
Yeah, we'll fill it out when we get there, that way we make sure we have the tax stuff filled out correctly. And because instead of doing a federal deviated wage, we're doing a state deviated wage as a form that has to be gone through and filled out the day you start, which, knowing what I know now, I'd keep doing federal because I have a lot more leeway with the federal, whereas the state is watching every single one we send. Normally, if I've got somebody that's within 10% of the industrial standard, I'll just pay them. With the state, with us being a new agency, they're watching every one we send in. So if I'm at 92%, I have to pay at 92%. It's easier for me just to put them at minimum wage. I don't have to retest them again but once a year.
Mhm.
And I mean, you're talking about 10% for crying out loud. Maybe they were having a bad day, but
So,
What's the minimum wage over there?
$7.70 is minimum wage.
Okay. Does it increase any after a while, or?
I believe minimum wage goes up a year from January, but don't quote me on that. I haven't been keeping track of that. As far as the other things, once you get your license, if there's openings at Charlie's, we've had several people go from our crew to work at Charlie's, and they started at $8.50 there.
Wow.
But what you've got to be careful of, and the reason that you only end up working 45 hours a week, we have a lot of people get their benefits screwed up because they make too much money.
45 hours.
Yeah,
Now what?
Every 2 weeks, you mean?
yeah,
Oh.
Now what hours would we be working?
9 to 2.
92, same as last time.
Yeah.
And Friendship Division will be providing the transportation for you.
Okay.
And once we get closer to, well, I actually, after I met with you this morning, I went and we were talking to 2 different car companies about the vehicle for transportation. Once we get that nailed down, we'll know who goes where when.
Now, we get paid like per hour for a car, we do.
By
Per
hour,
Per
I
hour.
don't do piece rate.
Okay. I was wondering.
I don't like piece rate. Piece rate's a little too subjective. this is cut and dry. You're there, if you're there and you're working, you get paid.
Okay.
So, and then it was the $3.90 initially for the first month, and then you get the time study, and then,
Get back pay, and then wherever you're at on the industrial standard.
so for like the first 2 months, it's gonna be a lower than normal paycheck.
Yeah.
But you'll catch it, it'll all get caught up all at once, and then you'll have a big lot of money. I wish I could do that somehow.
Mhm.
I thought it was gonna be a huge amount, it wasn't at all what I was expecting.
What'd you expect?
Well, the guys kept saying, oh, you're gonna make like $1,000. It's like,
Well,
they
it's
got over exaggerated.
Some months you can get close to it because you get paid 3 times.
Yeah.
That's what it's starting to talk about.
No, when you get all that back gas they're talking
Oh,
about.
it's happened where there's been something screwed up in payroll and it's been 4 or 5 weeks, or 4 or 5 weeks as opposed to just, 4 or 5 additional weeks. I had one get screwed up. One girl got a $1,300 check.
Yeah, I gotta stop that one. There's nobody.
I had to write a bunch of letters
Oh, really?
because one screwed that up.
Really? Oh. Sorry about that.
Is that public enemy?
Huh?
That-
Notorious.
Victoria's.
Oh,
Yeah, old stuff. That you were saying about sometimes you got a certain $100.
Yeah, she got a $1,500 check. Amy.
I
I
don't know her.
don't know her, sorry. But, yeah, she went out and bought a 50-inch flat screen TV.
Wow.
She says, how would I get a 50-inch flat screen TV home? I said, well, you can't put it on tarps.
No.
So I ended up taking it home for her.
Oh, that was nice.
Then she made me carry it up the steps, which,
Why that was great. Although they're not as heavy.
no, they're not as bad as they used to be. Yeah, it's
Well,
just-
my back was only paid with only $150. So.
Well, still, you must not have worked a lot of hours. So we're talking 5 days a week, Monday through Friday?
Yep.
Okay?
9, definitely, whatever it is. Yeah.
9 to 2,
5, 10.
they'll come pick you up.
How much we get paid for all those hours, or do we get paid for lunch, do it?
No, you don't get paid for lunch. You clock out for lunch. That's why you end up at 22 and a half hours.
That's about an hour lunch?
Half hour.
Half hour? Okay.
You need to pack a lunch. There is no place decent to go get food. There's a bar across the street, but it's not the kind of bar you want to go to.
Okay.
And we can't tell people they can't go there, but there's not a crosswalk within a half a mile from where you're at, so you'd have to walk up, walk over, walk down.
But then if I did drive, I'd just go over to McDonald's.
Yeah.
I don't. I can always pack something the night before.
Right, and we periodically buy pizza and stuff like that, so.
There's no one saying I can't bring Subway the next day.
You're going.
Oh, yeah,
Whatever I wanna bring.
There you go.
Yeah,
But-
just make sure you bring something, seriously.
Yep.
So we'll let overcomers know, and then are you gonna keep overcomers for HPC services?
Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna come there all anymore.
No, not during the day. Well, I mean, you can from now through July 6th.
Until then, yeah.
But then, you're gonna keep them for HPC services.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions for?
No, that's just.
These are kinda easy, cause they've all done it before, so I mean, I don't have to explain anything, I think that's,
Well, I'll tell you, they both have been asking, I want another job detailing cars. So as
Well-
soon as I heard Charlie's Dodge was open, I actually scheduled the appointment before I even talked to you.
Grogan wants us to go out there and do it now. We're gonna, cause Charlie's Dodge and Grogan are somehow, I guess inbred is the wrong word, but they're somehow connected. And
Oh, are
they want us to go out next week and talk to them. I said, let us get Charlie's taken care of first.
What about moving?
No, they just,
Initially.
we'd open another site,
Oh.
another whole site over there.
Right here?
Yep. So transportation will probably come around 8:30ish,
I would guess, yeah, but I'll,
maybe even a little early.
it might be a little, depending on where he's at on the route, it could probably be as early as 8 o'clock. But tomorrow, we should have an answer today, 5:30, 6 o'clock on the vehicles. So tomorrow we'll actually sit down with Bob and we'll break out the 9 people I know have now, to put in one order, so I know who's getting picked up at what time. Normally I've got everything like this put together, but it happens so quick, there's just, trying to do this in a week, get everything set up is kind of chaotic.
Mhm.
Do you know Adam Kruger?
Mhm.
Don't know. Is that I used to work there?
Hmm?
Do you know Adam Kruger?
Kruger or Kroger?
Kruger.
Kruger, I don't know an Adam Kruger. No.
Who, was Adam Kruger?
Yeah, I know
He
him.
lives in Sylvania, Fairwood, I don't know if you
Yeah,
know.
that's him,
I don't know if he wanted to, be interested in going back or not.